and love of display he had only that moment been censuring. Still more, on viewing the matter clearly, he felt vexed to think that he himself had been so largely the cause of the catastrophe. Yet he was not angry with himself, of that you may be sure, seeing that all of us have a slight weakness for sparing our own faults, and always do our best to find some fellow creature upon whom to vent our displeasure. Whether that fellow creature be a servant, a subordinate official, or a wife, in the same way Chichikov sought a scapegoat upon whose shoulders he could lay the blame for all that had annoyed him. He found one in Nozdrev, and you may be sure that the scapegoat in question received a good drubbing from every side, even as an experienced captain or chief of police will give a navis starosta or postboy a rating not only in the terms become classical, but also in such terms as the said captain or chief of police may invent for himself. In short, Nozdrev's whole lineage was passed in review, and many of its members in the ascending line fared badly in the process. Meanwhile, at the other end of the town there was in progress an event which was destined to augment still further the unpleasantness of our hero's position. That is to say, through the outlying streets and alleys of the town there was clattering a vehicle to which it would be difficult precisely to assign a name, seeing that, though it was of a species peculiar to itself, it most nearly resembled a large rickety watermelon on wheels. Eventually this monstrosity drew up at the gates of a house where the archpriest of one of the churches resided, and from its doors there leapt a damsel clad in a jerkin and wearing a scarf over her head. For a while she thumped the gates so vigorously as to set all the dogs barking. Then the gates stiffly opened and admitted this unwieldy phenomenon of the road. Lastly, the Barinia herself alighted, and stood revealed as Madame Karabochka, widow of a collegiate secretary. The reason of her sudden arrival was that she had felt so uneasy about the possible outcome of Chichikov's whim that during the 3 nights following his departure she had been unable to sleep a wink, whereafter, in spite of the fact that her horses were not shod, she had set off for the town, in order to learn at first hand how the dead souls were faring, and whether, which might God forfend, she had not sold them at something like a third of their true value. The consequences of her venture the reader will learn from a conversation between 2 ladies. We will reserve it for the ensuing chapter. End of Part 1, Chapter 8.